What's up, everybody? Welcome to We Loves to See It. I'm Mimi.
I'm Simone, and we are at the Third Wheel Podcast Studio in Hollywood. And our special guest today is another fellow Star Angel queen, Tatyana Guchi.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here.
What's up, Tatyana?
Hey guys, how we feeling?
We're feeling good.
How are
Thank
you?
you for having me. I'm good.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself.
Oh man, I'm a stand-up comedian out of New York. Improviser, writer, sketch comedian. I do it all. I like to be funny and have fun, and yeah. I've got a extensive background in anything you possibly need to know. So
You do. We did a show together, and I've seen you perform, and I was like, that girl is fucking cool.
Thanks.
Always liked you. It's got a
When
great
did you move
vibe.
to LA?
I moved here. I rang in the new year 2018 into 2019. I landed on the 31st.
Wow.
Spent the new year. Yeah.
I love that. What a vibe.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna set this year off right.
And like every new year, you're like, oh my God, like I moved here during the new year. It's a new year again. I moved on my birthday, so that's
Oh, that's
a way
your,
to remember
your
too.
anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. Exactly.
So did you start doing stand-up and stuff in New York? And
I
then,
did. I
Okay.
started out in New York, and I think that was probably the best thing I could have asked for in my career. And I suggest to any stand-up comedian coming up, just go to New York at some point in your career, whether it
Right.
be for a month or 2 months. If you can stay out there for a year, please do it, because you just come out a different beast. Because I will say, when I landed in LA, I was already hitting the ground running. I'm like, yo, I'm funny. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes
Right.
in your show. And a lot of comics know me from that, from that grind. And you really, unless you're kind of taught that, you won't have that drive. I don't
100%.
think. Yeah.
So what's the big difference between the New York and comedy scene versus LA?
I think it's easier. I think comedians in New York, they get their time in a lot quicker. So they get good really fast. Because it's true, you have to be bad to get good at
100%.
anything. But because there's just so much, everything is so accessible in New York, you can travel really
Yeah.
quickly. I mean, I was doing like 5-6 mics in a night
Shit.
Bitch.
after work. Like, you can't do that here in LA.
No, you
Everything's
Yeah.
very
can't.
spread out. I don't think LA is a city that you should come to and figure it out anyway. It's not
Absolutely not.
I'm a figure it out city. You should come here with your goals in mind and knowing what you want to achieve.
So are you from the city of New York?
I'm from right outside of Queens. There's a city right outside of Queens called Valley Stream, New York.
Oh, I know Valley
That's where I'm
Stream.
from.
I would stop in the
Why?
LIRR there.
Oh, I'm like, why would you know
lived there.
that?
That's right.
Yeah, I know Valley Stream.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Why were you out there?
Long story won't get into on the podcast,
Oh,
but
okay.
beautiful place.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it
She's like,
for
we'll leave
some
it at that.
dick?
We'll leave it at that.
Was
yeah.
it for some dick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Long Island
That dick
girl.
was, I know that trailer trash, like
It really is.
looking like a goddamn hottest guy in the trailer park, Chris Cuomo lookalike. So you grew up in Valley Stream.
Yeah. I moved to Brooklyn when I could finally afford it and move out of the house. Stayed out there for a couple years, and that was right before I moved to LA.
So I was going to ask this too, because I actually haven't done New York yet for stand-up, but are they like all slotted, or do they do buckets too? Or like, what's the...
It's a mix. It's buckets. It's
So you guys have to
slotted.
say, okay, cool.
It's political too. It's a lot of, you gotta know who's running the mic, and
Because that's the
otherwise
thing,
you're
you
not
can
getting
go
up.
to, you have to sometimes do the 5 mics because you can go to a mic, you're not going to guarantee to get up.
Yep.
I've been to mics where I've sat for hours and just waited to get picked, and I'm like, bitch, there's no way I'm not going to get picked in these 2 hours. But so
Yeah.
It's true.
that's why it's a grind. You got to hop.
And the thing I think just doing comedy outside of a city like LA is really, I think it's an artist city, right? So a lot of people understand that what you're doing is an art form, and they're encouraging and are what's the word I'm looking for? They're supportive. It's a very
Right.
supportive city. In New York is no time. Nobody gives a fuck.
Right,
So
right.
you go out there. I encourage all comedians, go get booed. Go get booed, okay?
Oh, yeah, like actually booed.
You'll be a changed comedian after you get booed. Have you ever been booed by one man in a bar? I have. I could see you, sir. I did my set, right? And he was sitting at the bar drinking his drink. I'll never forget it. And he puts his drink down, turns around and goes, nigga, boo. And then continues to drink his drink. And I was like, what the fuck? This is one man. I can fucking see you. It was like,
Do you remember what the joke was that he did that? Or
no, I probably don't even tell it anymore. I don't.
You're like,
I could not remember.
Scarred for life.
Oh my
Who
God, I'll
says
never
boo,
forget.
though? Like for me, that's worse. Like, because you know when you're bombing and like nobody's reacting at all?
Yeah.
I feel like a boo is way worse.
It's way worse. But it does something to you.
It does.
It does something to you. Like puts a dent in your armor and you're like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that the crowds in New York are more interactive than the crowds in LA? Like, for example, like at open mics, everybody's on their phones. Even at a show, people are on their phones. Do you think people are more engaged in New York, whereas you'll get the boos there?
I think they're just not afraid to tell you what they think.
See, I do like that, though.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to tell you what they think. And that can be a good thing or that can be a bad thing depending on the artist, I guess.
100%.
But I encourage everyone to go do it because it wakes up that dog in you. You're
Right.
like,
And I love that. And you see that authenticity in comics that like have that like rawness where it's like there's different levels. Like there's comics that are like, you know, self-deprecating, whatever. There are some that go up there, they're little cocky moments, you know what I mean? And there's just some that just give you who they are.
Yeah.
And for me, I never necessarily got bummed when I bombed because I was like, all right, bet. Like, first of all, humble yourself really quick. And also be who you are. You know, like when I go up there, I already hate myself. So if you boo me, trust me, I've been booing myself.
Yeah.
My mom still boos me to this day. So it's like, we're good on the same page. At least there's a
you're
reaction.
like, that's your
Yeah.
baseline. You're like,
At
I
least
wake
there's
up
a
here
reaction, yeah.
and it can only go up from here.
Right? No one could shit on me better than me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's real. Yeah.
I think I like those but like that makes you better as the
It does.
artist.
It does.
Really does. There should be bombs that you still think about in the middle of the night because you're like, I'm never gonna let that happen.
In the middle of the night, that shit hit different.
So,
Yeah.
so have you bombed here in LA?
I want to say probably the worst one. Yeah, that's part of the job, but probably the worst one was in Anaheim somewhere. It was a fucking bar. Like, first of all, I don't really take bar shows that seriously. But it was like the fucking host. He opens the show. He doesn't open the show with any jokes. And I'm not blaming the host, but you were objectively a bad host. I'm not gonna name any names because he's still working. But
God bless.
Yeah, he ain't got no neck, so that
Hey.
I guess I'm already winning, bitch.
Yeah, hey, let's go.
He opens the show. He's Mexican himself, and then he opens the show with kicking out these two Mexican men who were coming in from Tijuana just to have a good time. And they weren't heckling or anything. And I was like, wait, is this a hate crime? I was so confused. It was racist as fuck. He was very racist.
Was he one of those Trump Mexicans?
I guess so.
How did he say this to them?
He was like, he asked them what they were like. I was like, oh, what'd you guys come here for? And they're like, la música, la música. And then he was like, get him out of here. Literally like that. And I was like,
Wow.
I was like, what?
Did you call his ass out when you got on stage?
No, and that was my bad. This was my bad. He goes, all right, our first comedian's from New York, Tatyana Guchi. And I'm like,
Everybody's like,
huh? Yeah, exactly. And I think I was so stunned at what just happened and not addressing it was my bad. But because of that, now I know better as a comedian, and I'm thankful for that.
you could have ripped him so good.
Yeah.
So good.
And the audience would have been on your side anyways because they're like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it was so thick that because I sat and watched the show. It was one of those bombs that I did not take responsibility for. So I sat and watched the show. And I saw 5 comedians later, they still addressed what happened at the top of the show.
Damn.
And it was that thick that it still was pertinent with everyone. I was like, okay, yeah, it wasn't.
so not okay.
It was.
Is this guy an Orange
fucking
County-based
crazy.
comedian?
I don't know where he's based. That was the first time I met him. And honestly, this is the last time I'm ever going to see him.
Bye.
That's
Adios.
I'm not.
One and done, sweetie.
One and done.
Those are the best stories too, where it's like you can literally like be performing at the Comedy Store one night, and then another night I had like a show. Have you ever heard of the City of Industry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where all the strip clubs are.
But fuck nowhere. I have no idea. I drove to the City of Industry. I don't know where the fuck it is. Coming off this great high, like being in the belly, you know. And I get there, and it's like a big auditorium, not auditorium, but like you know, a conference room thing. Like it's a big
Yeah.
space. There's 3 people. 3. 1, 2, 3 people. And at the end of the day, like I said, I never want to throw something away. So I took it as an opportunity, like, all right, well, if I'm going to go off, let me go off. Like, just try some weird, outlandish shit that I've always wanted to try.
Yeah.
But it was cool. But it was like, yo, I drove all the way out there, and I was like, you know, like, let's go to show. No.
Yeah, I think we've all experienced a lot of that, right? Like whether it's like 4 people in the audience or 400 people, I want this to be the best experience, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be an experience that is never going to happen again.
Yeah.
I think I approach it the same way that I would improv. This is a one-time thing. So yeah, use it to try out new material, use it to mess with it. I'll have a conversation. I'm like, listen, there's 4 of us in here.
Let's
It's
kiki.
clearly a conversation. Right, exactly. And then you involve them in the experience. Because like, it's never going to happen again.
Right.
And the way that I approach a lot of shows, thank goodness I stay booked, and I use a lot of those smaller shows to work out new material, but I bring them in on the process. I let the audience know. I'm
That's
like,
cool.
hey, listen, we're going to do new material. You're going to let me know if you like it or not.
Yeah.
And at least they now feel like they're a part of something, right? Now
That's great.
now that they're not confused that they're like, where's the punchline? You know, they're not trying to figure, they don't have to do that anymore because you've created.
Pressure's a little less.
Yeah. So those are like little tips and tricks that I give and I tell.
I love that. That's actually great. I didn't think about it that way. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Free advice, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's better than going to an open mic too.
1000%.
The smaller shows.
Exactly, because those are real people. These are people who are going to be paying later. Hopefully they'll be fans.
They're invested.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll be following you. And speaking of your following, you got quite a large thing going on for you on TikTok. How did that pop off?
It came about, I posted a few, one video was like with a trending sound, and then I posted another video that really set off my TikTok following, which was one day, and it's funny because I talk about this day in my stand-up, but like I was dressed really, I'm comfortable in my masculinity.
Right.
Even as a feminine woman, and this one day I was dressed like, I really looked like a dude. I had a do-rag on, glasses. You couldn't tell that I was a woman unless you looked at the front, because then you could see I had titties. But from the back, I got a strong back. Let me tell you. I work on this back.
You're not going to break that back, sweetie.
Never.
Yes.
Okay? And I was just shopping at Trader Joe's, and this gay guy walks up to me, and he's like, excuse me, do you have the time? And like, it was like, he was trying to holler. And I turned around, and I was like, oh yeah, 1 second. And I pulled up my phone, and you could see in his face, he goes,
Abort. Yeah.
he goes, okay, thank you, and then just like scuttled away.
Scuttled, not scuttled.
Dude, we always say that too. Get you a girl that could do both.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm the same way. Like I could, go to the top and do the whole thing, shut it down. But then, I'll keep my Vans on, my little like whatever, and just kick it. You know what I mean? Because there's levels there. And also, I don't know how these hoes do it every day.
I couldn't even
How do
tell
they
you.
do it?
I would give props to the sexy women. Oh my God, in your heels and titties out. Oh my God.
I'm here for it.
I'll leave it to y'all because it ain't no way. Ain't no way in hell.
God damn it.
But I that situation, literally right after I got home, and I would park my car, and I just recorded a little video, and I was like, this gay guy just tried to hit on me, and he thought I was a boy. Surprise, bitch, I got a pussy.
Yes.
I don't know why that went up, but people loved it. They were eating it up, and I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And then kind of used that to continue creating and posting my original content, so the people also understand that you're not always going to get that weird whatever that was.
Right. Little snippets
I got other
of it.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
Have you been able to monetize it at all?
Yeah, I've actually made money from TikTok. I'm like,
Bitch. What does
you-
that take? Like how is it number like how do you?
Yeah, I think I never really looked into it too much. I do know.
Don't ask questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I do know your videos, if they reach the millions, and if you're in millions of views, you get way more. That's when you start to rake in a lot more money.
Go.
So that's
Interesting.
Yeah, I've been able to pay for trips and
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you post your sketch content on TikTok. I've checked it out. I love it. I follow you.
Give me your mic.
Our account follows you. We love to see it on TikTok. We would love to,
Yeah, I just didn't know if you were close.
have that. Oh yeah, no, it's good. But then you do improv. You do Bernie Mac and Cheese, and I love that name because
Shout out to the gang.
That's awesome. I love that name actually.
Bernie Mac, one of my all-time favorite comedians.
Legend.
Oh man, and
Rest in
we
peace.
take his philosophy of just never, his unwavering, his steadfastness in being himself. That was the core of Bernie Mac. He never changed who he was for the industry. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what room he was in. He was always Bernie Mac.
Right.
And that's the philosophy we take with us, that anybody who is a part of Bernie Mac and Cheese, who's ever played with us, is so unapologetically themselves.
Love it.
And and we're goofy and we love to have fun. Our style is Armando. I don't know if anybody knows too much about improv, because it's really a space. It's really a white dominated space that there's really no way to make money in improv.
Right.
And it almost feels like a Ponzi scheme, right?
Yeah.
Like you pay all this money to go to a school
Yeah.
to then become an instructor at the school. It just seems really, and not a lot of people are interested in that.
Or going to SNL.
But that's not guaranteed.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
You're like one in.
Yeah, but it's not like gonna be a job.
Thousands,
Yeah, it's
right.
not like you could be
Yeah.
a comedian as a job. Right.
Right. And even at the Groundlings, when you enroll, they tell you, hey, you're not going to get on SNL.
Yeah.
You're not
Yep,
going
that's
to
the
be a
first
Groundling.
thing I went. They say
So
exactly
first thing they tell you.
I'm like, all right.
So you're paying what, $200, $300, $400 for an improv class to just
do a
get
zip zap
good.
zap every week. What the fuck?
Exactly,
Yeah.
to just get good at
Yeah.
improv. And we're kind of changing that business model, right?
Oh, okay.
Because myself and Sean Grant, who I work with very closely, my business partner, he went to Groundlings, I went to UCB, and a couple of our other players, they went to various different schools and learned and trained in different places. And we're trying to we're communing all of our information and what we know, and we're sharing it at a very, very low price at the Terasaki Budokan and in Carson, California, starting in July. For a very, very low price. It's like $10 a class.
Wow.
It really is just to pay for the overhead of being in the
Wow.
space.
And you could do it per class. You don't have to do like a package.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah. Some people pay for the monthly. Some people just come per class. I
love that.
We're creating a community because I think a lot of people just don't know where to start in their careers in entertainment. And we have a lot of industry information, and we want to create a space where people who typically wouldn't have access can come and gain access and create a community
Oh,
for themselves.
That's right.
I am
Yeah.
intrigued. Definitely
Yeah.
going to check that out. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And our style is really fun. We take the Armando style, which comes from the UCB Herald, which is a lot of words right now that a lot of people don't understand. But
like,
we take a word, one person does a monologue, and we kind of just run and create stories. And a lot of sketches have come out of it. I think what we do is really fun and unique, and you can just tell that we're having fun on stage.
I love that. It's natural.
Yeah.
I also feel like too, and you obviously know more, you have more experience, but when I was doing it, I felt like people think sometimes that you have to be funny. And it's
No.
like, you don't have to be funny. It's like
No.
being organic. Like, what is it? And I feel like people kept just trying to like make a joke, and I'm just like, just do it. And that's the thing with having a scene partner. It's like you are responsible together. And I feel like that was my struggle, was that like, I'll try like, cause can't say no, all these like rules. And I had a scene partner one time that was like negating me. And I'm like, yo, why are you fucking me right now? Like we're supposed to.
Literally.
So that was hard for me. It was a big challenge.
Literally, I have said that in scenes. I'm like, oh, so you're just going to deny me?
Yeah.
As the
Oh.
character, just straight up, because that's like now it's like, what are we?
We're
What
just
are we
gonna
doing
break it
here?
together, yeah.
Where do we go? Where do we
Yeah.
go from here? And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of people who come in, they want to do bits, or they want to. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if it's nerves or whatever the
think so,
case
yeah.
is. But man, the best scenes I've ever seen all just come from it's just the ebb and flow, just being able to sit back and allow for whatever to happen. That's
Right.
just the core of it is the relationship, right? Like who are we to each other, and what problem are we trying to solve, right? That's where the core of it is, because anybody can relate to a relationship.
Period.
Anybody can relate to maybe this couple is going through a divorce. Maybe these two friends, they have some weird frenemy thing happening. There's always something to be said about the relationship.
For sure.
So if you start there, then the possibilities are boundless.
I have a confession.
Oh, that's actually a move in improv, funny enough.
Oh,
I have a
boom.
confession.
Yes.
I've never done improv.
Never.
Never.
Well, we're going to play a game.
I feel like you'd be great. Yeah, let's play.
We're going to play a game. It's called Sex With Me Is Like.
Oh shit.
And we're going to support each other.
Aaron is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Aaron, give us a word. Give us a word. Any word. Just a word. Ask? Ass.
He's thinking of mine, sweetie. We all.
Okay. I'm going to do it. But next word I'll make you do something that has nothing to do with actual sex. Okay. So it'll go like this. Sex with me is like ass. There's a lot of cracks in it.
Oh, got you.
You're just going to come up with a pun on the spot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Give me another word.
So
Give me
another word, yeah, is better.
Table. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Table. Okay. Sex with me is like a table. You might stub a toe.
Hey.
I got one for that.
Go ahead.
Sex with me is like a table. One of us is gonna get on all fours.
Bitch, I was gonna say that.
There
I was
you go.
literally gonna say
Hey.
the same exact thing. Sex like a table on
You
all
gotta come
fours.
up with a new one. You gotta come up with a
All right. Okay. Sex with me is like a table. Sturdy.
Hey. Okay, new word. One more word. Computer.
Bitch. All right. Okay, okay.
You wanna go first?
No.
Okay. Ooh.
Pros first.
Ooh, okay. Sex with me is like a computer. You're safe because I got that antivirus.
Ooh. This is a hard one.
Oh, Simone, you go.
Bitch, come on. Okay, computer. Sex with me is like a computer. Hold on. This is hard. Okay. Sex with me is like a computer. All your secrets are safe with me.
Yeah, she's got that.
Okay,
keychain.
I got it.
me?
I'm excited. I think this is gonna be good. Sex with me. You got to put your hard drive in, sex with me is like a computer. You have to put your hard drive in, not your floppy disk.
Oh! I think you won. That
I
wasn't
think
even a
you won,
competition.
100%.
You won.
Not your floppy ass disc,
Not that
pussy.
Yeah, not your micro
Floppy ass
penis.
disc.
Give me that hard drive. Give me that solid state
Yeah,
drive.
give me that hard drive.
Y'all gotta tell you something. Men are out
I worked
here.
at the Geek Squad for
Hey, she's like, I go
for
all
like
day.
2 years. Yeah.
Tatyana, I know that you're a member of the community and everything, but let me tell you what the straight women have to deal with right now is these
what?
motherfuckers out here with these like 10-inch personalities and these 4-inch packages.
Well, that's what it is. It's always all show and no go.
It is
That's how it
so crazy. I've never seen anything like
She's
it
like-
lately.
Holy
I
water
saw
on your head.
Somber. Yeah, that's awful.
It's bad.
Where does
trigger?
It's just I don't know what that is. I try to tell myself always to walk with the confidence of a man because men I don't know why you guys are so confident.
We talked about this in a lot
shouldn't
past
be.
Your bitch
episodes.
ass.
Not you two. You guys are very
No.
smart,
Yeah.
handsome young men.
Aaron has a lot to be confident about.
He
Don't
sure-
you, Aaron?
I just
does.
mean your,
Aaron, take
your
it off.
species as a whole.
Yeah. Oh no, you're gonna have to subscribe and pay
As a whole.
to see my husband, sweetie.
man. Where does this confidence come from?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Oh my
ego, but it's
God.
not real. It's not real confidence. It's not. It's mask, which is really scary to me. You know, I like a vulnerable ass person. You know, man or woman. Like I just
Right.
be vulnerable, be real, and that is way more attractive than the most confident person.
Yeah, but I don't want like a motherfucker, a man to be like journaling shit. Like
You
I don't
could
want to
be
know.
both. You
No,
could
no,
be
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. They don't need to have thoughts. Okay, they don't need to write. And then when they do have thoughts, they don't need to write them down for future generations because we all know what that's been like. You know, with our founding fathers and shit. Men just need to keep their shit to themselves.
I think that's the problem. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
problem.
what I'm
They
saying.
do need to.
No, I
We
think
like
they should
opposite things sometimes.
I think they need to internalize it and not let us know.
And look where that's gotten us.
See, but that's the thing. You've gotten that. I haven't gotten that. So I feel like that's why I want that more because it's just like, you know,
I feel
you
like
could do
as
both. You could have both. You could be sensitive and a badass. Like I will slice a motherfucker's throat, but at the same time, I'll also console respectfully.
yeah, that's
I think that you're
dichotomy.
nicer than me.
I am.
I do. I'm like, why don't you say this, Simone?
He's like, why is he still alive? I was like, whoa, my bitch. She like has the axe right. She's like, I thought we were going. I was
Yeah.
like, oh wait, whoa, chill.
I will cut a bitch.
But it's nice to have though in the back door.
As the gay best friend, I feel like that's my archetype. Is the gay best friend for
Really?
men specifically? They feel like they can come to me in the way like
Really?
there's still like the softness of a woman, but it's their homeboy. Like we'll still like I'll put on the gloves and spar with you, but at the same time, like they're going through something, they'll come and tell me.
Yeah.
and like so I get to see parts of men that like I don't feel like a lot of women get to see.
Wow, that's right.
Yeah,
Do
and
you think they want to smash though? Because you're pretty.
eventually
That is annoying as fuck to me as well. We're just like, what do you think this is? Do you know what I mean? Like, why can't you just respect the fact that I am what I am? Like, I feel like that's always a bit of stigma with guys. Like, oh, well, maybe. No, dude, it's not. It's not gonna happen. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes I have some friends who are men who would never cross that boundary,
Right.
and I don't know, I'm sure they might have thought about it, but they've just never. Maybe they never have
gentleman.
thought about it. But yeah, I think more often than not, because I don't think a lot of men know how to like once there's that level of comfort and closeness, they don't know how to. I don't think they even understand that this is not attraction. This is just, oh, this is someone I care about.
Yeah, exactly.
We're engaging.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But something, I don't know, something primitive wakes up. I don't know, their dick gets hard every 4 hours. I don't know what the...
True story.
Yeah, I don't...
It's not our fault.
So let me ask you this. How do you date in LA, especially because I know as a female comedian...
Are you single?
I'm very single.
Okay.
I will run into things like, oh, well, you're a comedian. I can't date you. Now, is it like that in the community too? Is there like a stigma about female comedians?
Or artists in general, I guess, yeah.
No, I don't think with women, not the women who date women, it's just that the lesbian community, at least with artists here, is so small that
Really?
I've literally had to stop dating because I realized, okay, this happened one time.
Oh, God, let's go.
So
There's a lot of Eskimo sisters around.
what? What is this term?
Or Himalaya playas.
Oh, like, you guys, you date somebody that
Yeah.
you date somebody that dated somebody that you guys date each other?
I don't know
Like
where it
you've-
came from.
Where did
Everybody's
that come
fucking
from?
everybody. Have you fucked the same people?
Yeah.
Eskimo sisters?
Yeah.
That's a hilarious
Like if
term.
like if
Never
two
heard that?
girls
Never.
like if two girls that had sex with the same guy, they're
I guess we're just
Eskimos.
whores here,
Well, God, I hope I'm not gonna get like canceled saying that.
No, you're good.
No, I don't think so, right? Unless the Eskimos
Right.
come down, we're like, we
Wait,
do
so what
not want to be
happened?
associated with this.
I'm nervous for this.
So I'm very upfront, right? When I'm dating, well, especially in this time period of my life, I'm like, hey, listen, you're not the only person I'm dating.
Love that.
Good for you.
I'm not looking for anything serious. So that was fundamental, right? Cool. I had a show. Do I want to say where it was?
Yeah, be careful.
We can always
be careful.
bleep it out if you decide
Yeah,
not to.
you can do a bleep.
Okay. I had a show at the and because I know if I say this place, I don't really care. So I don't care. So I had a show at the and one girl that I was a little bit more serious about, I invited her out to the show. She was like, oh yeah, cool, I'll invite my friends. I was like, all right, perfect. I posted the show on my stories, and this other girl that I've been trying to fuck forever was like, I'm coming to this show. I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not coming to the show. And she's like, yeah, I'm coming. And I'm like, fuck. Because I invited her to the show. I had like back-to-back shows. So I invited her to the next night, right? You got to keep everything set. I was very
I love you,
organized.
this girl. She played.
But she was like, no, I'm going to come to the one tonight. And I'm like, all right, how am I going to make this work? Right? So everybody shows up, and this is where I realized, okay, like the world's too small and I probably can't date in this world. But like, girl A came in with all her friends. Girl B came in with a couple of her friends.
Oh boy.
So we had that place packed out. It was like 20 bitches in there.
Let's go.
And their friends knew their friends. Everybody knew each other.
Big group.
To turn to like West Side
Besties.
Story, the Sharks versus the Jets over your ass.
Everybody knew each other, except for the two girls that I happened to be messing with. And I get up, I kill it, I get off stage, and obviously, like, there's like something that happens, like, once you get off stage and kill it, like,
Right.
I think everybody's pretty parts, they get to fluttering, and everybody wants a piece of you.
Yep.
And because that's one way, hey, if you can make a woman laugh, you know what I mean?
Ow. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Chuckle fuckers.
man,
Yep.
I've seen some of the ugliest dudes, bad bitches, just because they
100.
are funny.
Right.
If you are funny, oh my God.
You're in.
You get a lot. You get away with a lot.
Sure do, sweetie.
So one girl's trying to pull me to the side and make out with me. The other one's pulling me into the bathroom. And I'm like, oh my, what the fuck? And I had my two homegirls there, and they were helping me out, like, do damage control.
That's a homie right there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Britt and Tina. I love y'all.
Let's go.
Because I would not have been able to do it. Like, they're distracting one girl while the other one's trying to get my attention. Yeah. And then there was one point at the end of the night where everybody's getting each other's Instagrams, and then these two try to get each other's, and then my homegirl Britt goes, "Hey yo, they exchanging numbers," and it was like slow motion. I'm running across the bar like, "Hey yo, let me talk to you for a second."
Right.
And I mean, I don't talk to either of them to this day, but
did they connect it or no?
I don't think they ever connected the dots. And if they see this, then they perhaps will. But that's why I don't date in the city. I say all that to say
too small,
too fucking small. When I realized that, I was like, "There's no way." If I do date anybody, it's not in the entertainment industry for sure. I feel you.
We always talk about that. Like, there's positives and negatives, but overall, it's just kind of like safer not to.
Yeah. I need to find like a welder or something.
They make money.
Yeah, just like a welder, like blue collar.
Hot works, hot sheet metal. I don't know what they're called.
Got a nice hot rod,
Yeah, ideally.
Yeah, strong hands. You can fucking build a house.
Yeah, like some muscle, little blue collar.
Yeah.
I definitely should sway more to that. I've also realized though too, living in LA, like being in relationships, I've been in a few since I've lived here, and I realize later always that, I didn't move out here to be in a relationship. Right. It was hindering me from getting on my game. I would be, come home earlier from the store than I would want to be, or would go to maybe less mics and blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, I don't need that distraction right now. And if you think about it, if you grind your ass off and you get to that level when you're in a caliber of people that are just killing the game, then I'll date one of those people. I'm not about to date people that are still learning just like I am, It's like, I'm good. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. Like, have fun, ball out. I mean, if you're a star, we'll give it a go. But
what about Aaron?
Well, I mean, Aaron and me have discussed things already. And
you guys are open?
No, we're fucking not open.
Well, you're open. He's not. He's closed. Keep your legs closed.
No, we are not open. We are not open.
Is there a relationship here? What's happening?
It's a situationship.
Oh, nice. Okay, we love it. We love a situationship.
Yeah, it hasn't started yet, but it's started.
Yeah, it's a situation.
I'm gonna hate shit out of him what we do finally.
It's on the brink of a situation.
Yeah. Do you ladies have a type? Do you guys have a type?
I ain't
emotionally unavailable.
Oh, emotionally. You see, that's what I was saying earlier. Women love I don't. That.
The 3 boyfriends that I've had in LA are all very different.
Yeah.
Completely. Whether it's height, race, outgoing, smoke cigarettes, doesn't smoke weed.
I feel like you would date a really pretty man, like a soft man.
No, I like an edge.
Yeah?
I like an edge.
I'm
a lot.
I feel like you would like a man with a bang. I don't know why.
I've dated a guy with a stash.
With like a handlebar, or is it
not a handlebar, just like a stash in general, but
just the stash, no beard.
No beard, like long, like kind of
like
hair,
a barista, like a
hipster.
Yeah.
I want to see you with a guy with an edge. No,
and I dated a guy with dreads, completely opposite.
Oh yeah.
That like a long hair, like, you know what I mean? But it's definitely like I definitely need some type of edge that I haven't gotten yet.
Yeah, you definitely haven't gotten it.
Cause I'm that, I'm a ball buster. I'm real. Like I said, I'm sensitive, but like, you got to be on, and you can't be fucking sensitive. You got to be able to, be accountable for things and whatever. And I feel like I need somebody that can handle that.
I think because that's how I'm reading you, is that you're probably you give me like as much as I hate this term, but like #girl boss. Like you need somebody who's like a Oprah and Stedman. Like you just need a guy who's gonna be like,
I like that.
Take care of the house while I go do boss bitch shit.
For sure. That would be
my
pretty
type.
Dope too.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know your type. You tell me.
She tell me you know her type.
What is she giving?
What am I giving?
Oh, you need to be tended. You need to be taken care of. You giving me like heavy housewife, heavy housewife.
And
style.
This?
Yeah. Even I don't care what you're
Must
wearing.
Must be the southern
charm.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just the comfort of home is what that feels like.
Oh, well, you know what? That actually is the perfect segue to our segment, because talking about types and what we're vibing with.
I got it.
Okay. Mimi is going to set us off.
Yep.
Let her know how this goes.
So we do a segment every time. You probably played it with your friends. It's called Fuck, Marry, Kill. So we're going to do 3 female comics that we would fuck, marry, or kill. Ooh. And they are Nikki Glaser, Margaret Cho, or Tiffany Haddish.
Ooh.
You gonna kick us
Marry,
off?
kill. Okay, so I would have to.
Ooh.
I would fuck Nikki Glaser. I would marry Tiffany Haddish, even though she's made questionable decisions in the past.
Facts.
And I'd have to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd have to kill Margaret Cho, even though. Oh, I don't like that.
I know, it sucks, doesn't it?
Oh, you got to kill somebody.
Somebody's got to go.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Margaret. I'm sorry, Margaret.
You're like, what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? I had no other choice. Oh man, but yeah, that's my final answer. Boom.
Nice.
All right. So, I would kill Margaret Cho.
And that's your only answer?
For real, I'm like, whoa.
I would fuck Nikki Glaser. You know, kind of 2 blondes. That might be like a good vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Sexy. And I would marry Tiffany Haddish. I've met Tiffany. I agree with the choices, but she was very nice and warm to me and my friend, and she didn't have to be.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I might throw this one off a little bit.
Okay.
I would fuck Nikki Glaser as well, because I feel like she'd be a fun fuck, you know? She'd be fun. She might talk too much, but she'd be fun. I would marry Margaret Cho because I've met her as well, and she's just cool, and like I feel like we would do cool things together. And also, like, I kind of like being the hotter one, so that would be nice. And the only reason why I would kill Tiffany Haddish is because we're both on 10. You can't have 2. You can't, like, it would just be too much. So, respectfully, that's my final answer.
Yeah. Because, like, Nikki Glaser, I would just fuck, and then it would be one and done. Be like, all right, that was good. You know, you feel like I could flip her around, she'd make me laugh, and then I'd be out that bitch.
And also, Margaret Cho's plugged in, yo. She's into the movies and stuff.
True.
Like, Tiffany Haddish, like, did her thing, but, like, Margaret Cho's, like, been in the game, and she knows a lot more people in the industry. So, she could throw me a fucking bone.
You're trying to fuck up.
And she's
marry
tatted.
up.
I love tats, dude. I really do.
That's true. She is a cool auntie.
Yeah,
that's
sweetie.
Why,
You're
that's
so
why
funny.
I can't like settle down.
You're
with
funny
her.
for that. She's a
like
cool auntie. I'm dying.
You know what I mean?
Who before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you this too. Who has been your like biggest inspirations in comedy, particularly female comics?
Particularly female.
It could be like old school, new school.
Let me think about this because I want to say there's it's tough, right? Because even for me, it's tough because I don't really look at media in general and identify with too many people, and my immediate influences tend to only be a couple years my senior.
Got you.
But in the lane of comedy in which I see myself eventually, I would say Wanda Sykes.
Hell yeah.
I think she has probably been one of the biggest influences in that she's never been unwavering in who she is. Although she's taken many roles and has been able to be a chameleon in a lot of ways, it's been great to see her growth and almost not be defined by sexuality or by race or anything specific. And that's something that I look to as a huge influence because I'm just like many people, we're all so multifaceted, right? And you can put a ton of labels on yourself. You know, I'm a gay woman, Black, Asian. There's still so many labels that I could wear on a day-to-day basis, but to not be defined by any of that, but at the same time, all of that informs your point of view. I think that's the one artist, one comedian who's been able to cross over into TV and film.
Right. Her career has just been careering still, you know?
I would say in female comedians, that's the one. And I would just consider Wanda Sykes a comedian. I wouldn't even put female.
100%.
That
bitch does not miss.
Nope.
She's still kicking.
No, and how she continues to evolve over time and still bring in her personal experience. It really is up there with some of the greats. And I don't think a lot of women get the recognition they deserve for that. Whoopi Goldberg is another one that I'll say. Although she did more like one-woman shows. She did some
Right.
stand-up. I have some old Whoopi Goldberg records. No, I don't think she doesn't nearly get as much recognition as she
100% agree.
deserves.
Yeah.
Such a funny. I was listening back to these records. I was like, damn, Whoopi was funny. Yeah, so I'd put those two. I would put those two on top. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. Well, thank you
icons.
for that. That's like, it's nice to just hear different people's perspective. Also, I wanted you to tell the people your socials.
Yes.
And I mentioned the Bernie mac and cheese.
Absolutely.
Because that's really cool. I feel like I'm interested in that. So yeah.
Absolutely. You can find me on most social platforms at Tatyana Guchi. TikTok is Tatyana Ali. On Bernie Mac and Cheese, BMC Improv on all social platforms for improv, where I'm with my group, and you can find classes and all of that fun stuff and other content and merch.
Thank you.
All right, so we always end with a flick off to this camera because that's how we do it. We love to see it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.